Hello you guys, and welcome back to Arco Iris Ranch. If you're new here, I'm gardening in Texas in the northern half of it, and it is now almost the end of January and it is time to go ahead and do a quick garden tour. So we did recently have a pretty big freeze. We did actually have some ice and some snow. I'll see if I can put some pictures up on the screen. But yeah, unfortunately because of that, everything that was left in the garden pretty much died except for a few things. So there's not a whole lot to show you guys, but I wanted to go ahead and have a record for January of 2025. I do have all 3 kitties with me. I'm gonna slowly turn around here. There's a overview of the garden there. But then we do have soap over here on this side. So you will see the kitties throughout. Now, as you can see, I am standing on the opposite side of where I normally start my garden tour videos, because this is the side that has the biggest transformation. As you can see, I did cut back almost everything except for the Beverly Rose. I have not attempted my roses yet, but I will be cutting those back soon. But I did go through and I pulled out and trimmed up all 4 of these beds. So I did not record myself actually doing the garden cleanup, but I will go ahead and put some footage on the screen right now to show y'all what it looked like before. As you can see, this whole side does look pretty different, and there is still a lot of work to do. One of my main goals is to get rid of this ginormous ant mound that I have just been leaving here, because once the plants grow up, you can't see it. But I mean, look at this. This just looks absolutely horrible. So, and it actually does pour over into the inside of the garden fence as well. So this will be a big task, but I have to get this out. I am tired of dealing with the ants. And I do still have to pull out the one rose bush right there, and then here's the other rose bush down there that I need to be getting rid of. I took care of trimming back the rose bushes for the ones that I'm going to be pulling out, but I have not done the Beverly Rose or the other roses on the other side of the house. Now on this side, this is where the iris bed is. And as you can see, the irises are still doing really good. There was a salvia, but it succumbed to the frost, so that's gone. But the lemon coral sedum is still doing really good, so let's look at that. So lots of weeds and leaves and mess down in here, but if you look, the lemon coral sedum looks really good. Let's see, you can see that part right there. And then there's some more down there. So the irises do have some damage, so I will go through and pull out the pieces like this that looks really bad. Well, I'll go through and clean those up. And then all of this is weeds that I need to clean up. And then the salvia, you can actually see, so this is where I cut it, but I mean there is still some new fresh growth down there. So fingers crossed that'll bounce back really soon. And then we have some more lemon coral sedum down there, looking really good. I have not tackled the lemongrass yet. That's this big one right here. And then we do have one that didn't quite get as big right here, but I need to go ahead and get those pulled out. So now we're over here on the side where the actual garden fence or the gate is. And I have done some stuff, but not a whole bunch. I did already cut back the hibiscus. You saw all that in the last video. I cut back the salvia. That was still up last video. The Dusty Miller actually didn't succumb to the frost. It looks really pretty. And then the rock rose I still need to cut back. And then the roses, so I will be cutting out like these branches that are shooting straight out, because I want to train it up over the trellis. So like this one right here coming out, I'll trim off. And I am going to go through and trim off all the leaves. Same thing for this one on this side as well. So like these branches that are coming out this way, those will all get cut off, and then all the leaves will get cut off of the ones that are going up over the trellis. This side, the only thing that changed since the last video is I cut back the salvia that was over there. that died from the frost, but as you can see, same thing. This is a bunch of new growth from the salvia down there. This is all just weeds, or possibly larkspur. Actually, I think this is larkspur, so I'm not going to pull all that. This is where I had the huge larkspur plant right here. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it on the screen. But that self-seeds really, really good. And now that I'm looking at it, I think that is the foliage of larkspur, excuse me. So I'm actually really excited about that. So this whole outside fence on this side and on the other side as well doesn't look very pretty, but of course that'll change come spring. Now the inside of the garden, I will be honest, I am a little embarrassed to share with you guys, but I have to be honest with y'all. So I knew the frost was coming and I did not do anything. I didn't come out and cover any plants at all whatsoever. So I just let Mother Nature do its thing. And so some things in here are not looking very good, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and see what things are alive. I'll go ahead and just give y'all an overview of all the beds first, and then we'll take closer looks at them. Got a little bit growing over there. This is the one I'm super sad to show y'all. And then not much going on in those two beds. So let's slowly turn back around here, and we will start with this bed right here. So this bed had some ruby cabbage in the front. You can actually still see one of them right there looking terrible. And then, so there's some pink Swiss chard down the side right there. The alyssums right here, that's what this is. This was so pretty. I mean, there are still some flowers on it. It's not completely dead. Broccoli was a fail this year. Look at this. I don't even know what happened to my plants. But broccoli looks terrible. And then all that in the back is premium kale. And I know it does look really, really rough. But I also have been coming out. We have a bearded dragon, and we actually feed this to him. I was feeding him the Swiss chard as well, but as you can see, that looks extremely rough. So I do still come out and feed him, or her, lettuce, or kale, excuse me. But yeah, that definitely took a hit. If I had covered it or even just watered everything in, all of my stuff would have been a lot better, but it's okay. Mistakes happen. So snapdragons all the way around the perimeter of the bed, you can see did take some damage. But I'm hoping that they will recover. I don't know. You can see they've got alyssum right there that crumbled. This is my cilantro right here. This is a Megatron that's going to make this video difficult, or this part difficult. So you can see the cilantro does have all this damage, but then you can see all that new growth down in there. So I need to just come through and cut back the damaged part. And the other cilantro on the other side is actually even better looking. Let's see over here. There's the other cilantro. So it's still doing okay. I just need to cut off some dead parts. And then the chamomile, that's what's on the bottom corner of this trellis, on all four corners. That still looks really, really nice. There's that one right there, and another one down there. Got silly kitties all over the place. Oh, she's about to get her. See if I can get them both in frame here. Maybe not. Okay, so this bed right here is the one that I ran out of dirt, so I never even filled it up, and then I just dumped my leftover seed trays in it. And as you can see, we had, oh, I knew it. On me, girls. Okay, so I just dumped the leftover seed trays out, and cilantro is doing absolutely great. So those are 2 plants, it looks like. So I'm hoping to actually like pull that up and put them into a pot and maybe bring them inside. Summers here in Texas get extremely hot, and because of that, the cilantro doesn't normally do really good here. It bolts really, really quickly. So I'm hoping maybe if I can take them up put them into a pot, bring them inside underneath my grow lights. Maybe I can keep cilantro all year round. I don't eat it. I have the gene, I guess, mutation or whatever, that it tastes like soap to me. So I don't eat it, but my husband loves cilantro. So I was growing that for him. But in this bed, my plan, I actually have, I'll try to get a picture of it. I have an entire basket of russet potatoes that I bought to actually cook with. Didn't end up using them, and they've all grown eyes and everything. So I am going to, instead of just throwing those away, I'm going to actually plant them in this bed right here. Because the bed is already low with soil, I think that's going to work to my advantage. So I'm going to like dig out like trenches, and then I will lay the potatoes down in the trenches, and then I will cover them up with the dirt that I have in here. But then I'm also going to use a bunch of straw or hay, I don't know what my husband has, and then I'll just put that all on top of them. And so that'll give me some space to be able to have hopefully more potatoes grow. I don't know. I've yet to successfully actually grow potatoes, so it's going to be an experiment for sure. This bed right here had all the zinnias in it, and once I pulled those out, I haven't done anything at all whatsoever. So I just need to top that bed off, amend it, and then we'll be able to plant something fun here soon. This bed looks terrible, unfortunately. So it had the bee balm in it, which all died from the frost. But when I went to start pulling all the dead stuff off underneath, I think that's all bee balm as well. I might be mistaken. That might be oregano, but that oregano doesn't look purple. I got Megatron messing with the tripod down here. So I have all of this growing underneath here. So a lot of this is just dead. So I need to just clear this all out and then see what I want to do with that. If I want to leave that in there or what. And then we do have a yarrow right there in the middle. And then this is all oregano. So this bed, I wanted to pull the herbs out and move them. Now I don't know what I'm going to be doing to it. But I just know I got to get it looking better than this, because that is really, really rough. Get out of there. Come here. This little thing is ornery, but she's so sweet. Yeah. So, yeah, that is... Oh, no, hold on. The main bed front and center when you walk in the garden. Forgot to show you that one. Now, I already told y'all in my last garden tour video that this bed was not turning out like I envisioned. Well, now it's even farther from what I envisioned. Excuse me. Yeah. Hello. So I had a couple alyssums that are dead. The snapdragons, I think they're going to pull through. They do look pretty rough, but I think they are going to pull through. But that's what I have growing all the way around the perimeter of the bed. Like you can see, like, look at this one. Really, really sad, but there is a bunch of new growth. Oh, and I'm having to hold Megatron here. All the pansies in the middle, look at this. Most of it's completely dead. So, like, example, this one right here. I'm trying to do this one-handed because I'm holding a cat. That is all new growth. So I'm going to cut all of that stuff off. Let me see if I can put her down. Look at that. Instantly, by removing this, made that plant look so much better, and hopefully it'll do good. Same thing with this one. Look at this. So I'm going to cut right there and leave that and then get rid of all this. So that will make this bed look better, but it's never going to look like how I envisioned it. One of these days, I am going to master a Texas winter fall garden. Unfortunately, if you've been following along with me the last few years, I have yet to do so, but one day I will. But I've just been really just taking it easy, relaxing, maybe got a little hyperfixated on houseplants, but that's okay. There is one other area that I do want to show y'all. I'm not going to show y'all the whole other side of the house because it's not really looking good, and there's the crazy climbing rose over there that looks like an alien. Well, maybe I will show you. But I do want to show you the herb bed over here. I'm by the chickens over here. So I want to show you the herb bed because it is doing really, really good and has been enjoying the cooler weather. This bed still has some nice green in it, and I absolutely love it. Let's just start right here with the sweet lavender. Look how much that has grown. It is doing so good, and it smells amazing. The catnip, honestly, that's always looked rough, so we'll see how that does. This is the chives. It is looking a little rough, but I'm hoping it is okay. Now I got 2 kitties in the bed. Excuse me, girls. Come here. Thank you. This is the rue. It has some new growth. I'm not going to touch it though. This is the, why am I forgetting what this, oh, honeysuckle? Gold flame honeysuckle. It is alive. It has new growth. Look at this. Survived the transplant, survived the winter. I still haven't trellised it up, but it's alive. I don't know if the echinacea's alive. I think that's dead. This is the creeping thyme. It still looks really, really good. And then this is our barbecue rosemary, and it's still looking really, really good and has put on some growth as well. The other 2 beds on the other side of that herb bed, those are still empty, nothing in those. Haven't done anything with that. Here's all my clean out from the garden from the other day. That is going to be burnt, I think. I don't think I'm going to compost any of that. I'm probably just going to burn all of it. So I did decide I do want to show y'all the climbing rose and the other side of the house over here. It does look a little bit rough, but let's go ahead and take a look. My Zephyrin Jewin climbing rose is looking wild. I need to trim this back severely. It just looks really, really, really bad. But I know if I cut it back, it'll be okay. And I know there's new growth on it. Like, look. All that right there, the bright red, that's new growth. So, and you can see all those little growth points right there. So I need to quickly get in here, cut the branches like all of these that I'm not going to be keeping, and then cut back all of these leaves to give this thing a fresh new start. Well, you guys, I think that's going to be it for the garden tour. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you can stay tuned for my future videos. We'll see you in the next one.